Hi guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Full Lakers 2024 preseason schedule with matchups against Timberwolves, Suns, Bucks and Warriors. In addition to releasing their 2024-25 regular season schedule, the Los Angeles Lakers announced their full 2024 preseason schedule. The Lakers will play 6 preseason games in total, with 2 of them in Palm Springs and 1 in Las Vegas. The games at Acer Arena in the Greater Palm Springs area and at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas were previously announced. Los Angeles will get an opportunity to go up against playoff teams in the Minnesota Timberwolves, Phoenix Suns and Milwaukee Bucks. They'll also see the Golden State Warriors, who always give Los Angeles a good challenge. The Lakers will see the Suns and Warriors twice, most likely due to proximity. The preseason will kick off in Palm Springs for the first 2 contests against the Timberwolves and Suns. The Lakers will then travel to Las Vegas, where they'll take on the Bucks and Warriors. They'll close things out on the road against Phoenix and Golden State in a rare back-to-back. The preseason schedule comes on the heels of the 2024-2 regular season schedule being announced, giving fans something to look forward to the next couple of months. While Los Angeles typically limits players like LeBron James and Anthony Davis, this year's preseason will be interesting to watch because it'll mark head coach J.J. Redick's professional coaching debut. Normally there isn't much to take away from preseason games because they are used as evaluation periods for players on the roster bubble or to try out different lineup combinations and schemes, but in this case it'll be a good window into how it envisions the team playing on both sides of the floor. Hakeem, James and Davis will most likely see limited action through the 6 games after participating in the 2024 Olympics in Paris, but the rest of the roster should see ample run. Younger players like Dalton Connect and Bronny James should get minutes, as well as returners like Jalen Eno and Maxwell Lewis. Preseason could also be the first time LeBron and Bronny share the floor together, a moment that people will be eagerly waiting to see. Warriors front office are aware they don't have a championship-level roster. The Golden State Warriors do not think that their roster as presently constructed has the capacity to compete for the NBA championship. The front office understands that in order to compete for the title they will need to surround Stephen Curry with better players at some point this season. According to Anthony Slater of The Athletic, the Warriors are well aware of the roster concerns the key Warrior stakeholders grasp. Curry sustained greatness and team sources said there is an internal understanding that his current supporting cast can't be considered a finished product. If the 2025 NBA championship is believed to be a reachable goal, it will be disheartening for fans of the Warriors to read this, as it confirms that their franchise officials are aware of many of them have known for quite some time that this roster is not built to compete for an NBA championship. However, they can take some solace in the fact that this could suggest the front office will make moves later in the season to fix this issue. Stephen Curry is coming off a great performance at the 2024 Olympics, where he helped lead Team USA to the gold medal. Curry was phenomenal, especially in the final 2 games where he made some big shots to seal wins for Team USA, and for him it will be quite the stark shift to be playing with what many consider to be a subpar roster. The Warriors certainly tried to improve their roster and add some stars in the wake of Klay Thompson's departure. The Clippers blocked their move to try and complete a sign and trade for Paul George, and he would end up signing for the 76ers, and their efforts to acquire Lauri Markkanen in a trade were rebuffed when the Jazz signed him to long-term contract extension. The Warriors are struggling for options to improve their roster heading into The new season they haven't been able to land a big star, but not for a lack of trying. Perhaps they will wait and see how the season plays out for other teams to try and land a disgruntled star from another franchise. The Warriors could also try and bet on their young stars like Brandon Podmski, Jonathan Kaminger and Moses Moody to take the next step in their development and become star-caliber players, but given their youth and lack of playing time in the past few years, it may be too big a jump for them to realistically make next year. Head coach Steve Kerr will have to try out several different lineups next season to try and see which one works best for the Warriors. The team has to compete with what is a stacked Western Conference and will need to put together a string of good performances in order to try and stay competitive until the team makes some moves. NBA stars to monitor as trade candidates. Stephen Curry included. Free agency is all but over. Most NBA stars have signed with new or existing teams with some truly massive contracts coming into play. However, that doesn't mean that player movement has come to a halt. Instead, now the trade market can once again ramp up. While it is unlikely that major moves are made immediately, a few odd months to begin the year and teams could jump the gun right around December. Most players become trade eligible, which trickles into the eventual trade deadline. We take a look at 3 names along with the likeliness of each of them getting a change in scenery. The ongoing descent between Zach LaVine and the Chicago Bulls is one of the worst kept secrets in the league. However, thanks to diminishing values from the once promising all-star, no deal has come to fruition. But for a 29-year-old player of his caliber, not finding a new beginning is virtually an impossibility. Throughout NBA history, we have seen some teams emerge that are willing to take a chance on the disgruntled star. The hope for the Bulls is they can find one such team in the near future. Now this one might seem unlikely. CJ McCollum, by all accounts, is a New Orleans favorite, whether it be the front office management or even coach Willie Green. CJ is definitely in the good graces. However, reality might strike down on the Pelicans when they first got the expensive haul for Anthony Davis and then Zion Williamson. The team was building towards being a powerhouse. So far, however, that trajectory hasn't come to pass. Instead, the team has plateaued, which is where the Murray trade comes in. Most reports before the off-season began were aiming toward a Brandon Ingram trade. However, with no moves coming so far, an extension would make Ingram ineligible for trade. That is where the McCullum piece comes in as a lead guard. McCullum hasn't been as productive as many were expecting. Further, a CJ Murray backcourt might well be a poor man's Atlanta Hawks backcourt. Well, this goes off the deep end, but over the course of the Olymp pieces it has become a genuine question to consider. During the trip over to Paris, Stephen Curry spoke about the Golden State Warriors in from their achievements to the downfall. He was candid about his time in the Bay, but for many what became a major talking point was in regards to his future. Speaking on it, Curry inferred that he wouldn't be okay with playing non-competitive basketball despite wanting to be a Warrior for life. Obviously, Golden State hasn't been close to contention over the past 2 seasons. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Stephen Curry? Leave your opinion in the comments.